thing we can all agree on is that, given the devastation of the hydrogen bomb at the end of World War II and the many more powerful weapons we have today, World War III would be bloody and crippling. Is it a question of when rather than if? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions, the channel that looks to answer exactly those. I'm Rebecca Felgate, and today we are asking, can we stop World War III from happening? In World War I, around 18 million people died. In World War II, this number shot up to around 75 million. It is estimated that if World War III broke out, 2 or more billion people could die, a sizable chunk of the world's population. No international conflict and political chessboarding is worth the loss of that many lives. If we want history to extend beyond us, then at all costs, we must stop any conflict. How will we do this? Well, first thing is first, we need to get rid of all of the weapons of mass destruction. We need a disarmament amnesty. Currently, 9 countries possess all of the world's nuclear weapons. The safety of the rest of the world is reliant on these countries. The United States and Russia by far have the most nukes, with around 7,000 each. France has 300 nuclear warheads, China has 260, and the United Kingdom has 215. These 5 countries legally own the bombs, but India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea have developed them too. While the 5 legal owners could agree on an amnesty, it's unlikely that the other 4 would. And the total destruction of all weapons of mass destruction from all parties is the only way the agreement will work. As worldwide mutual agreements seem unlikely, you may be comforted to know that we do already have an intergovernmental organization that aims to diffuse international tensions. The North Atlantic Alliance, or NATO, has 29 members, including the United States, France, Britain, Germany, and Canada. NATO aims to resolve disputes peacefully and diplomatically, and the organization already has plans to diffuse situations that could lead to World War III. Perhaps war could be stopped if more nations like Russia, China, Syria, and North Korea and Middle Eastern regions joined NATO too. If we could generate one peacekeeping body for all countries, perhaps decisions could be reached under less tense and emotional circumstances. Let's call this option a world court. Perhaps a world court would be a better, fairer way to put a country on trial, rather than hurling bombs at it for deviance. Perhaps there could be a jury of people from different countries, and the centralized organization could agree on an appropriate punishment. Of course though, what is to stop a country going rogue like North Korea? We wouldn't need a world police or judicial system if some countries weren't hellbent on breaking the rules. North Korea has made continuous threats to the United States and Australia. Russia keeps on testing how far it can push into other countries' airspaces and waters. China is building a new military island, and the United States is launching spy planes left, right, and center. If we want to stop World War III, we need to stop the practice of symbolic posturing and pointless shows of displays of strength. Each country needs to tackle its own ego and stop trying to constantly outdo the other. There are very few people in charge of when we are at war and when we are not. These are the people that run each country, usually politicians. Some are elected and others seize power. Either way, we are somewhat at their mercy. On a small scale, if we're lucky enough to live in a democratic society, we can choose who to vote for. I personally would not vote to elect somebody whose primary goal wasn't to keep the peace for my country. Perhaps there will be some kind of dystopian future where we can force politicians into a big boxing ring to fight it out amongst themselves without harming the rest of us. This would make people like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson a legit contender for prez. Maybe like one of our previous Life's Biggest Questions videos discussed, we will fight in an intergalactic location, sparing human life. But again, these 2 options still involve fighting. Unfortunately, human nature makes people confrontational. That seems to be something we can't change. What hopefully we can change is the way we deal with this confrontation. How do we do that? Well, more international communication and understanding, more responsibility for our own actions, less he said, she said, and perhaps most importantly of all, less ego. Perhaps these conditions can be achieved in a worldwide judiciary, perhaps not. I hope we can stop World War III from happening, but the realist in me tells me that we can probably only delay it. Humans are just too volatile. I just hope when things do one day boil over, we have a better way to resolve issues than by killing each other until we're so equally destroyed we call it a truce. Thank you guys guys for tuning into this episode of Life's Biggest Questions. Do you think that we can stop World War III? What method would you use to calm tensions? Let me know in the comments section down below. For now, I'm Rebecca Felgate. If you like our war series, make sure you give this video a good thumbs up and turn on your notifications for this channel. I'll see you in the next video, but for now, stay curious, stay safe, and never ever stop questioning.